Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP family. Appreciate you guys as always, for sticking around and showing tremendous amount of love. Let's waste no more time and take a look at XRP. If you guys are enjoying these daily, regular XRP updates, just smash that like button and also don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. So if you're looking across the board, I did mention this in my updates over the last 3 days. Pretty much as we were going into this week, I was talking about how we will expect volatility within the space. And the day of the FOMC meeting, I did say don't be surprised if the market does see a little bit of an uptick. And that's exactly what we're seeing happening across the board right now. We're actually starting to see majority of the market slowly shifting back into the green. We're actually seeing some quite large gainers. Arrow up 21%, Radium up 14%, Jito Sol up 10%. So you guys get the idea. Things are moving back slowly but surely. But XRP price right now pretty much break even on the USD side. We're down about 0.1% in Bitcoin. I would say pretty much break even on that side as well. Price $2.17, valuation at 127.5 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $2.5 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So BlackRock buys 6,018.36 Ethereum worth $15.1 million. And if you're looking at the inflows recently on the Ethereum side, you're really starting to see a lot of whale accumulation happening. And now you're looking at the likes of BlackRock. Before, if you've been pretty much paying attention to the inflows, I would say for pretty much from the beginning of the year, we actually did not see Ethereum get that love. If you know what I'm talking about, you actually just saw more inflows coming into none other than BTC itself. But Ethereum was lagging quite heavily. But right now, what you're seeing is accumulation strongly for ETH. So is there, these big analysts, institutions, the whales that are accumulating ETH right now, do they know something? Are they projecting something that, the overall market is not? Because Ethereum, at the end of the day, is an important indicator, when we're analyzing the altcoin market. So again, as we know, a lot of analysts projecting that, Q4 and Q3 of this year's where, altcoin season is really going to really pick up. And I personally, sit with that overall, target and, the overall scenario as well. I've been saying that from the beginning. As far as history is concerned, that is what should happen. And of course, on top of that, if we do see that rate cut, that could really be that triggering factor. So we'll see what happens. But let's take a look at this. The Senate just passed and this is coming from Donald Trump. The Senate just passed an incredible bill that is going to make America the undistributed leader in digital assets. Nobody will do it better. It is pure genius. Digital assets are the future, and our nation is going to own it. We are talking about massive investments and big innovation. The House will hopefully move lightning fast and pass a clean Genius Act. Get it to my desk ASAP, no delays, no add-ons. This is America brilliant as its best, and we are going to show the world how to win with digital assets like never before. And here we have it, Donald Trump himself, the president of the United States, who has really backed cryptocurrency. Him tweeting this really shows you that this guy is not here, to just take your crypto and digital markets lightly. Since his whether you like him or not, you cannot deny the fact that what he said is happening. We're seeing a complete restructure happening since he has come into the office, and that is, where you got to give him the credit without whether you like him or not. And, that is quite interesting. So does he really have other plans? Maybe, he does bring out some, rules where, you're going to see tax exemption for U.S. projects. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, that's still up in the air, but you can really understand which direction this digital asset space is really moving. And then we talk about super cycle every single time. The super cycle word gets thrown around pretty much since the beginning of the crypto space. I would say since, crypto kind of started going into the mainstream media more and more, which I think was, the 2017 market where you did see, crazy amounts of gain. Bitcoin obviously went up. That really brought, crypto towards, the mainstream light for the first time. Of course, not compared to where we are right now, but that really gives you a better understanding as to, what's happening. We are seeing a complete shift taking place right now in front of us. And that is what a lot of people overlook. And I'm not overlooking this. So, super cycle, I wouldn't, again, I'm not saying we're going to see a super cycle. Obviously, if certain things like that, maybe companies that are, innovating in the US, maybe if they come up with something like that, their taxes them, or like, give them some sort of a benefit, then I think, we could see something going like insane. We'll see what happens right now. I'm just sticking to 2025, but we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments down below whether you think a super cycle is going to happen or not. And speaking about super cycle and, altcoin season, I really kind of agree with Virtual Bacon. He says altcoin season isn't canceled. You're just playing the wrong coins. And I think, when he says this, I could not agree more. If you're looking at XRP, the way it has been consolidating, whether you look at the Bitcoin dominance or not, you're still looking at the price of XRP within the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. That itself is beyond exciting, to say the least. Only a few people understand this. And I think, we're really going to find that out once you see dominance pulling down. That's when you're really going to see the importance of where the price of XRP had been hanging around. But let's move forward. Standard Chartered Ripple Partner Bank is targeting private markets and illiquid assets as a prime candidate for tokenization. These are whole new corridors for revenues that are completely untapped. Stablecoins and RWAs will unlock them. I don't know what I'm saying. Healthcare company Prenetics announces Bitcoin treasury strategy, purchasing 187 BTC worth $20 million in its first ever buy. There we have it. More and more big companies coming on board, and I think this is just becoming a norm, and there's no one that can really deny that fact. But look at this. Really wanted to kind of go over this summary of major 2025 XRP collaboration. You could see, he says, they told you XRP has no real adoption. Now the 2025 pipeline looks like a global takeover. I've been tracking it step by step. Now it's all connecting. Are you sure that XRP bag isn't enough for what's coming? So you can see, Ondo Finance tokenized U.S. Treasuries in the U.S., BRICS banks, Ripple connects with financial institutions across BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and of course South Africa and others. SBI expansion, we know about that. Portugal, Brazil, XRP, ODL, and the list goes on, and you can really see. And I think we got to add how we have finally seen a first ever spot XRP ETF, listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange in Canada, which itself is quite a revolutionary moment for the crypto space. A lot of people don't realize that, but we're not going to be overlooking that when we are analyzing the markets. But let's take a look at what's happening with the dominance here. If you're looking at the dominance, 64.87%, obviously it's picking up still, gaining a lot of traction. But over the last I would say hour and a half to 2 hours, we actually have seen a little bit of a decline in the dominance itself. You could see this for yourself. If I were to zoom in for you guys, you could see we were actually sitting at about 65.05%. We did go down, which of course itself is giving a little bit of altcoins more of a push. You can really see on the last 1 hour, we're seeing pretty much green across the market right now, which of course is very nice to see. If you're looking at XRP's price, as I've stated to you guys before, you shouldn't really be ignoring that. We're still in the 38.2. We just wicked up to the $2.33 just 2 days back. Of course, market has seen some volatility. Of course, the price of XRP is going to react, but you want to not ignore the way it has been accumulating. If you're looking at BTC, let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. If you're looking at BTC here on the hourly time frame, oopsies, I don't want to get rid of the Fibonacci's, but okay, I don't know what's happening here. Let's actually go back. Let's go here. There we have it. So if you're looking at BTC right now, Bitcoin's still ranging around $105,000. We're still below the 106,000 range. Very important to reclaim back above. Now that the FOMC meeting is over, are we really going to see Bitcoin starting to push back towards this level? We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys covered. Let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.